This movement, and he is here today to tell us about his and his brothers and sisters' struggle. Help me to introduce Avery Wear.
Thank you. Well, the last 3 years have been hell. How many people know somebody who can't find a job? How many people know somebody who's had to deal with foreclosure? I'm a county social worker. We're supposed to be the lucky ones. We've got jobs. We even have pensions. I don't want to compare my suffering to the unemployed or to the homeless, but I do not feel like one of the lucky ones. When I started at Adult Protective Services, the average caseload per month was 14. When the Great Recession hit, they downsized our program. Last month, I had 22 cases. I was the low man in the office. Patty, who has to take a second job down here at the theater, at the Civic Center, she had 26. Constant stress, 40 hours a week, 50 hours a year, 50 weeks a year. That's what our jobs are becoming. Many of us will die of heart attacks and strokes sooner than we otherwise would have because of this situation. We're doing what's happening to workers all over the country, the so-called lucky ones. You're so-called lucky to have a job because some people's lives are destroyed by unemployment. But when you're left behind with that job, the boss makes you do their share. That's what we've had to deal with for the last 3 years, so that the government would have enough money to bail out the banks. And so that the 1% would not have their taxes raised and the corporations would not have their taxes raised. Many of my co-workers hoped that Barack Obama would change things, but he really has not done that. Later, people hoped that Jerry Brown would make things better for us. And here's where I'm supposed to talk about state worker pensions. The average retired state worker makes $31,000 a year. It's a modest living at best. As Dave Lowe of Californians for Retirement Security said, unions have negotiated major retirement concessions that have already saved the state hundreds of millions of dollars. But it's not enough. It's never enough. The new proposal from Sacramento is to cut $900 million every year, take that out of our pensions. What's the proposal? How do they want to do that? Raise the retirement age, the minimum age for 30 years of service, raise it from 55 years to 67 years. They want to make retirees pay more for their health care. Who needs health care more than retirees? They want to turn our pensions into hybrid pensions. What's a hybrid pension? It means that part of our pension, a big part, is going to become a 401k program. As if we haven't already seen what a disaster it is to trust our future to the stock market. Of course, the 1% on Wall Street are going to love that. They get their hands on our money. They get fat fees for it, for gambling with our futures. But it's no good for our retirement. That's the point, to save all this money on our backs. It just has turned out that there's no way to vote against the banks in this country. There's no way to vote against the 1% in this state. So my local SEIU Local 221 voted at our general membership meeting in October to form a committee in solidarity with Occupy San Diego. And we proposed, our committee, to do this march today to other union brothers and sisters, and we're glad to see this happening now. And I think it's why many union members are looking for ways to build solidarity with the Occupy movement. Mutual solidarity of the kind that David talked about. The last 3 years have taught millions of people that this political system, that this economic system is rigged against the 99%. And that if we're going to get anything from it, we're not going to get it by playing by the rules that the system has set up. We tried that already. We're not going to get anything that way. Occupy has taught that being bold, not worrying about the rules that the system has, can take us forward. So the Occupy San Diego Labor Solidarity Committee, if you're one of those labor people who wants to connect with Occupy, this is the committee for you. I hope you'll join us. We will learn. We will learn how to really fight and win. We'll learn how to occupy. We'll learn how to strike again. We need to learn how to do things like shut down the ports. And we need to learn how to shut everything down. We need to not just shut it down, we need to learn how to run it for ourselves. Why do we need a group of parasites telling us what to do? We're the working people. We're the ones who make things run. Why can't we do it ourselves? Down with the 1%. Long live the 99%.
Fight back!
They say cut back!
We say fight back! Thank you very much, brothers and sisters.